Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Yes, as you can see, I'm wearing the Apple Vision Pro. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do this quick little video with the headset on, mostly because I actually have my talking points for the app in a little floating notes app right here. So as I'm kind of doing the talking points for this video, it's just floating right there. It's like my own little prompter in a way, and I can kind of scroll through all my notes and stuff right here very easily. So anyways, just a little thing that I wanted to share. I know you're not going to be able to fully see my face and stuff through here, but this is going to be a quick video. I wanted to talk about the Apple Vision Pro, but specifically, I wanted to talk about my experience today where I took it out into the public for the first time. I actually went to a mall. I went to the Tysons Corner Center mall in Virginia today just for fun. Just to go out there, see the reactions, just try it out. Like, think of, like, why would people maybe want to take this out in public? Like, I could understand, like, use cases of taking it on an airplane or a train or bus or something to kind of, you know, use it. But is there, like, a reason to take it out in public? Like, if you're at the mall or something? That's not really something that Apple has necessarily promoted, but I just thought, why not try it and find out? So just for fun, just wanted to have a fun little video. So I'm not going to be getting super detailed into impressions and this and that on the video. I did a live stream unboxing of the Apple Vision Pro on the channel. And there's other reviewers and stuff out there that have gone in much more detail about the headset itself. But quick points that I'm just going to cover. Overall, I really like it. I've had it since launch day, so it's been 1 week since I've had the headset. I'm recording this on Friday, February 9th. It came out on February 2nd. It's pretty good. I mean, you know, there's a few little things in terms of, like, the pass-through is a little grainy and hazy and stuff, but it's doable. It's the best pass-through I've seen. I have the Quest 3, and it is better, definitely, in comparison. But the screen quality itself and the apps and the experiences that you can do is really, really good. And just, like, by the way, just for the record, as I was actually working on this video, I connected my Apple Vision Pro to my MacBook Pro, and I had Final Cut Pro, lots of Pro happening here, open on my MacBook screen, and then I had my Notes app from the Vision Pro to the side, and I was using my trackpad on the MacBook to control this giant screen in the Vision Pro of my Mac in Final Cut Pro to edit, and I could jump over to the Notes app and type with the keyboard in my MacBook Pro. It blew my mind how seamless and just how integrated everything was. That was super, super crazy. And that's just right now while I was editing this. But overall, it's been pretty solid. Oh, I got a message. Let me click on it and see. Oh, okay, cool. So as I'm popping up, I got a little notification as I was doing this. Anyways, it's been super, super fun. And I will say watching videos on this is really cool. I just love how easy it is to interact with your fingers. I can drag the screen here. Like, I can bring this little Notes app that I have, and now I'm actually scrolling with my finger like you would on an iPad, but it's just a floating screen right here. You can't see it, but I'm actually controlling it through there. Let me move it back. Okay, so overall, I'm really, really liking it. So that brings me to today, taking it to the mall. So I just thought it would be fun to do. So here's what I did first. And by the way, I tried to share some of my experience. I had my wife there, shout out to Maheen, recording some, videos and stuff of me kind of wearing the headset and walking around and maybe seeing some people's reactions. But also I tried to screen record from the Vision Pro. Now, I realized later that screen recording doesn't record the audio, which I guess makes sense, right? It's like you're just recording the screen itself, which technically is what the headset is seeing. So there's no audio, unfortunately, because I had some cool interactions with some people too. No audio, but you'll be able to, I'll intersperse little clips of what happened. First thing is, I thought it would be fun after we had lunch there at the food court, then I put the headset on, and I thought it'd be fun to go to the Apple store where I bought the headset. I don't know how they would react to see somebody walking in with a Vision Pro, at the store while they're selling Vision Pros to other people or something. But I ended up going to the Apple store, and it was pretty fun. I could see a few employees smiling as I came in. And I went over to the Apple Watch section because I do have a lot of Apple Watch bands. I love collecting different Apple Watch bands, different colors, and they're all pretty fun. And so I was there. One of the employees came over, started asking me about how I'm liking the Vision Pro. So that was fun. But I actually I pulled up Safari in the Vision Pro, and I went to the Apple website and started looking at Apple Watch bands to see different ones they had, and while I'm physically standing at the Apple Watch section at the store. So I was trying to test out different use cases of how people would use it, and one of the potential things is being able to pull up information or research things while you're there in the store and get additional insights. Obviously, you could take out your phone and do that. This is more of a somewhat hands-free method. I mean, you are using your fingers and stuff to scroll and things like that, but it's just one way of using it. Ultimately, didn't end up buying any watch bands, but it was still pretty fun. And then actually, one of the employees there recognized me because he was one of the people that helped me buy the headset last week. I ran into some issues with my credit card company kind of denying it, and I was on the phone with them for an hour at the Apple store. It was a whole ordeal. Finally got it resolved. But he was there, and he's like, "Oh, I recognize you." And I went over and talked to him. Unfortunately, the headset didn't record. So one of the downsides that I found out is I had a couple times where the headset crashed and rebooted. Now, that's never happened to me in the week leading up to this. So I wonder if it has to do with the fact that I was screen recording for, minutes at a time, and I don't know. And then, maybe that overheated the headset, or it just crashed it, or some sort of bug because I had never really done a lot of screen recording before. So this was the first time I was doing that. So maybe that's what caused something to happen. Also, I was using the hotspot on my phone to get Wi-Fi to the headset. And at one point, I think the Wi-Fi disconnected. So I don't know if it was a Wi-Fi thing that was also screwing it up. Because again, at home, I use the home Wi-Fi. So, just worth noting the couple crashes and stuff I had. So every now and then I would just try and stop recording and create a new clip just to make sure I wouldn't lose stuff. But I ended up losing a little bit of footage of me talking to the one other Apple Store employee there as well. But they were all really, really cool. And, I was telling them, how much I was enjoying the headset and stuff, and then ended up, heading out after that. But the other thing that I was able to do is, we were trying to figure out where to get some dessert, and we were trying to find a directory. Again, I could pull up my phone, but also, boom, hit the headset, pull up Safari, pull up the website, and I'm scrolling and looking at the directory right there and navigating where we want to go in the mall. So that was really fun to be able to just kind of do. I also, I'm sure to other people it's kind of weird because I'm standing there kind of scrolling, and I got my hand to record some video of that angle, so you could see what it looked like of me standing there doing it, and then you'll see what I see with a screen there that I'm controlling. But there was one part where I did it again later, and I was in front of a Macy's, and had a little directory open. I was like, you know what? It's on the second floor, and you can actually look down in this spot and see the first floor. And I ended up extending my Safari window really large because I was curious to see how big it would be. And it was so cool seeing this giant floating window, almost suspended in the air here in the mall, because it's this open area where you can see down to level 1, but the screen is floating on top of it. It was kind of surreal how it was just suspended there in the air, and I was navigating this giant screen there, and nobody else could see what I was doing. It was just kind of crazy to think about. And actually, while I was there, I had some folks come up, and some guys came up and started talking to me about the headset as well. I actually had a few people come up to me and talk to me about the headset while I was wearing it. So, see little clips of where I have that as well. But the number one question, the first thing out the gate that people would ask me every single time without fail was, is the headset worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? My response was always, I don't know, I'm having fun with it. That was my first response. And then ultimately it's I don't know if anything is truly worth the high, cost there, but at the same time, there are a lot of cool use cases for it, and the things that it does really well. So, to each their own, but I was having fun with it. So unfortunately I don't have audio of those conversations, but it was cool to be able to talk to people. And another conversation I had actually was at GameStop when I was at the register. The GameStop employee started asking me, and then the guy in line behind me started asking me about stuff as well. So we were kind of chatting about the Vision Pro. I also picked up some Pokemon cards. There were some new Pokemon Paldean Fates, different like collection boxes and stuff there, blister packs. So I was just grabbing those off the shelf. No problem. As I was wearing the headset, being able to see things. Yes, it was a little grainy, a little blurry, especially in the distance. People were kind of blurry, but I could walk around and navigate and grab things and do things no problem. And the headset, honestly, overall, it was not bothering me at all in terms of comfort. I know it is a little heavy. And after a while at home, sometimes too, you kind of feel it a little. But while I was walking around in public, like it felt fine. It was no issue there. The only thing is you don't have the best peripheral vision. So there was one time I sort of almost bumped into somebody. I was like, oh, excuse me. And kind of, as they were kind of approaching up to the side and I didn't fully see them. But otherwise, no problem. But anyways, back at GameStop, I grabbed some Pokemon cards. And actually, while I grabbed some and then I went in line, I was like, wait a second. I think there are some new tins, Paldean Fates Pokemon card tins that are out. And so I was like, let me just check real quick. And I pulled up Safari, this little floating window while I'm waiting in line, pulled up this website that said, oh, the tins are there. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I got up to the register and I asked about the tins and yes, they had them. They were able to grab them. So I was able to like quickly just check something. Yes, I mean, I know it's the same thing as kind of checking your phone, except you have a big screen now that you can do this anywhere. Sort of, somewhat hands-free. But that was that. And then my wife went to the bathroom afterwards, and so I was waiting outside GameStop. She had gone while I was in line. I didn't know which restroom she went to, so I texted her and I was like, hey, which one, which direction did you go? And I'll be waiting for you at GameStop when you get back. So I was just kind of standing there. And while I was standing outside GameStop, I was also, tweeting about, me being at the mall and kind of trying out the Vision Pro and stuff. So I'm like standing right there and I'm like messaging people and tweeting stuff and doing all these things virtually. I could only imagine what it looked like to people, but to me it was like super seamless and really cool to be able to do. The other fun thing is we got some dessert. I ended up getting some Kung Fu tea. I got a passion fruit slush. And I went to go order and I had the headset on and everything. The employee there, like, honestly, it almost was like I wasn't even wearing a headset. They had no reaction, nothing. I was able to, get the thing, check out, no problem. So once I put in my order, I went to go sit down at one of the tables. And this is where I'm sitting waiting. I was like, let me pull up some stuff. Let me kind of play around with things. So I did, looked at a couple things, scrolled through some photos. And then what I did is I pulled up Safari. And I pulled up the website for the mall and I was going to look stuff up. And then I was like, wait, what time is it? I couldn't remember what time it was to see how much longer we'd be there before we went to a park later. So the one downside of the Vision Pro is like there's not a quick and easy way to see the time, but there's an app that lets you, what's it called again? Let me see. It's called Widgetsmith, and you can set certain widgets like clocks and things that you can kind of put up in the weather. So I was grabbing the clock widget and I just kind of put that up, and then that's when my order was called, saying that my passion fruit slush was ready. So I had a Safari window there right at the table I was at and a clock widget to my side. So I got up, went and got the drink, and then I went back to the seat and the windows are there. It's almost like you had a computer and you just left and went back and your computer's still sitting at the desk. Except there is no computer, because if you did that, somebody could have maybe taken, stolen the thing or whatever, like you leave stuff there for a second. But no, it was a virtual screen and it stayed in that spot. That's something that even at home is super, super cool, because I will put certain apps, like I put a thing of my photos on my wall, and then on the sofa I have something else. So like I can literally go up to the wall, interact with my photos. I can go over here and do that. Like you can put apps wherever you want them. And the same thing is true there at the mall, where I was sitting, I had the screens up and I left and came back and they were there in that exact spot. It's so crazy because it gives you this illusion that the stuff is real, that it's physical and it's there in that space, but it's not. So that worked like really, really well. I thought that was really, really fun. There are a couple funky things though, like for example, going on an escalator, you can't really have a screen properly there unless you're dragging it, like holding it with you. Because what happens is, again, if the screen stays physically in place, if you're going down an escalator, if you put a screen here at the top of the escalator and then you go down, the screen stays there. So like if you're trying to watch something in front of you or whatever, it's gonna like slowly move back as you're going down the escalator. So when I first got to the mall, I tried it and I couldn't even get to Safari to open up as I got to the escalator, because as soon as I would open up the app screen, it would just disappear. And it would disappear because you're moving down the escalator. You're kind of moving, right? Then another time I went on the escalator, I opened it up first and I had to like drag Safari down, and then I'd move and I'd slowly catch up to the screen and I'd drag it again, you know. So it's like that's not really a downside. It's working exactly as intended. It's just like a little trippy of like how well the screens that you put position themselves in the real world space and stay there. And that's so crazy. That's why, like, when you travel, you know, on a bus or airplane or whatever, there's a special travel mode you can put on. I actually haven't tried that. That's probably would have worked on the escalator, to where the screen, I think, will stay with you, so it won't move based on motion. Otherwise, these things will start flying everywhere and it won't stay still. So, you know, good to know there is a travel mode as well. You know, the other thing is, like, things are a little grainy. It's not the best quality, but I could still make out enough around me. It's more in the distance things would be a little harder. I was able to see my phone, like, when Maheen was taking some pictures and videos and stuff, I wanted to check on my phone. So while I had the headset on, I was scrolling through on my phone, and I could pretty much mostly see, you know, it was mostly clear how it looked. But yeah, otherwise it was just fun to kind of, you know, walk through the mall and just kind of see people's reactions of like, what's going on. I'm sure a lot of people had ridiculous, you know, thoughts of like, oh gosh, this is, you know, the end of all humankind. This is like, you know, Wall-E, you know, they're all in the chairs and all. It's, you know, like, you know, everybody freaking out about what this means for society and that sort of thing. It really wasn't that deep for me, to be honest. This is not something I'm going to be going out in the public all the time and doing. I may do again just for fun and for reactions and content and just kind of trying things out, messing with stuff. But this is not like a regular daily type of thing that I would do. But it was still fun, just kind of seeing, you know, people staring, and I had a few people like, oh my gosh, what is that? You know, kind of react, and other people just stay like, what is this person doing? You know? I even was walking by a store and I glanced in the store and like somebody like waved to me, one of the employees or something. So I just waved back, as well. And like I said, a few people came up and started asking me about it as well. So it was really, really interesting to see, and kind of gauge the reactions of the public and what this is, I guess. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun experience. Hopefully you all enjoyed kind of that look into what the Vision Pro is like out in the real world, and if you take it out in public. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any specific questions about the headset or other type of content that you'd like me to make. I will not ever do anything like the really dumb people out there that are using the headset and driving and doing very illegal things like that. Never will do anything stupid like that. But, you know, if there's other things, whether at home or out in public in a safe place, or, you know, or just general questions about my impressions or things about the headset and its capabilities, let me know in the comment section below. Would love to try stuff out. I will have to play around to see if there's other ways I can also like record and get audio and stuff. I may have to do one of those things where like I screen record, but simultaneously have a microphone with me. You know what I mean? To like capture audio around me. So next time, maybe I'll do something like that. We'll see. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this little video. Take care, and I will see you later.